Freestyle, a unique spin on reining. Music, costumes, props, and crowd participation. Some of reining's best are here.
You know, for the fun and for the crowd and the money.
And the well-known Done It With a Twist makes an appearance in legendary Jim Norick Arena. Not this one. This one.
This one has a little bit longer ears and a little bit longer face, as you can notice.
We'll hear the story behind the trail mule that stole the show at the $20,000 added NRHA Invitational Freestyle, sponsored by the Oklahoma City Convention and Visitors Bureau this week on Horse of the West. Welcome to State Fair Park and the NRHA $20,000 added Invitational Freestyle, sponsored by the Oklahoma City Convention and Visitors Bureau. This is one of the highlights of the NRHA Futurity and Adequan North American Affiliate Championship show here. It's become a crowd and rider favorite.
Because it's a real crowd pleaser. It brings a lot of new people into our sport, and so I'm very excited they're having it back here.
Freestyle riders can use no reins, no tack at all if they have the right horse for it.
It takes one that is super good-minded, and this one, out of everything in our barn, anytime I rode her without one, you know, she was just always mine.
Riders can get off their horses, as Reserve Futurity Freestyle champion Dan James did last year.
Our real specialty in horsemanship is probably the liberty work, and we're able to incorporate that with the horse spinning without anybody on him.
But they do have to do at least 3 stops, 2 spins, and 2 lead changes, though they can do those maneuvers in any order, anywhere in the pen. They're judged on correctness as well as artistic flair and crowd participation. Melanie Wilhelm of Nazareth, Texas puts all her equine background into her routine on board Kirk George's Whizzin' Blue Sparks.
I grew up rodeoing, so I just always thought it would be fun to kind of incorporate the reining and the rodeo. So I wish I've learned so much in the reining, so it would be fun to go back and take that knowledge into the rodeo world.
Melanie and the 5-year-old gelding by NRHA $1 Million sire Spook's Got a Whiz earn a 219 to get us rolling.
It was a little not quite as smooth as I would have liked it to be. There was parts of it that were really good. The barrel pattern probably wasn't really good, and then my goat tying at the end, I kind of got him a little hard. He kind of threw his head up, so that was my fault.
Keith Cedia of Centerburg, Ohio is riding Red Gun 2, the 2018 Adequan North American Affiliate Primetime Champion under owner Karen Shedlauskas. Keith and this 6-year-old gelding earned the Reserve Championship at the big All-American Quarter Horse Congress Freestyle earlier in the year with this Michael Jackson routine.
So we wanted to go with a compilation, not just one song, just to kind of keep the rhythm and keep the crowd more involved with changing tunes. So we went with Beat It and Thriller. Figured those are 2 of his most famous songs everybody would know.
Keith and Red Gun 2 by NRHA Hall of Fame member and $10 million sire Gunner had more than a week to prepare in Columbus, but only about a day here in Oklahoma City since his mount was competing in the affiliate championship. They have a few penalty points and end up with a 197. Kirsten Booth of Temecula, California is riding her 6-year-old mare Baby's Got Blue Eyes to this song from the musical The Greatest Showman. It's called This Is Me, and it's got great meaning for Kirsten.
I'm finally able to own, like, this is me now, because went through cancer and had 10 different surgeries.
Kirsten says she is sane and sound now because of this mare she calls Frankie.
I really feel like she got me through it. I went through a divorce, I went through chemo, I went through cancer, I went through all that, but I had my horse. And I've cried on her mane many times, and I've had my biggest smiles with her. So if I'm sad, she will literally wrap her neck around me and like hug me, and she talks to me all the time. And so when you have a horse like this that like essentially she feeds off of my feelings, it's really special. You know, I've had her since she was a yearling, and I feel like she knows me and I know her.
Kirsten Booth and Baby's Got Blue Eyes wow the judges with their freestyle run and earn a big 226.5 to take the lead. Emily Emerson of Elbert, Colorado opts to do her routine without a bridle to the song Rolling in the Deep by Adele, and the crowd loves it.
You know, when I first loped off, the crowd went to scream. They loved it, the fact that I was bridleless, and when she ran and stopped how she can, you know, they ate it up.
Emily's one of a herd of great freestyle riders from Colorado, where they all compete in the big freestyle event at the Denver Stock Show.
I love getting to come up with our own patterns and trying to be creative to go with their music and, you know, just all that fun stuff.
Emily and Sharon Wright's Walla Girl is a Whiz, an 8-year-old mare by NRHA $2 million sire Walla Walla Whiz, move into second with a 224 from the judges. J.D. Anderson of Wilsall, Montana is riding a 10-year-old stud he and his wife Janice own named Skeets Conquistador to an old Ernest Tubb Red Foley song.
Too old to cut the mustard, and I'm probably the oldest reiner still showing in the open in Montana or close, and so we just decided we'd make a joke about it, and when we put this thing together, and I think it went pretty well. I was pretty happy with it, happy with my horse, and happy with the way it went.
The costume is completely handmade, including the beard, by the ladies in JD's barn, who also act as extras in his routine. The rest comes naturally to JD.
I've always been kind of a show-off, so that part's easy for me.
JD and Skeets Conquistador prove they can still cut the mustard with a 218.5 from the judges. Still a big score to beat here at the NRHA Futurity Freestyle with a 226.5 from Kirsten Booth and Baby's Got Blue Eyes. Coming up, history in the making, maybe the first mule ever to compete at an NRHA Futurity event.
I employed my horse trainer, Trent Harvey, to ride said mule, and that's how this went.
We'll see how it goes coming up as we continue our coverage of the $20,000 added NRHA Futurity Invitational Freestyle from Oklahoma City. And in Your Horse Inside and Out, sponsored by Behringer Ingelheim, Dr. Joe Carter talks about x-rays and when they're the right choice for diagnosing lameness. Coverage of the $20,000 added NRHA Invitational Freestyle from Oklahoma City is generously sponsored by Northwest Insurance, home, auto, farm ranch, cattle, and equine. Let us put the best plan together from the multiple companies we represent. Give us a call or find us online at northwestequineinsurance.com.
The Western horse was a master of a hard world, pitted for centuries against half-wild bovines. Ferocious predators, brutal weather, and the sheer size of the country they had to cover. Their descendants are still nimble, fast, and courageous, with a rock-solid disposition that makes them beloved the world over. In this next half hour, you'll see them in action here on Horse of the West. You're watching Horse of the West on RFD TV, presented by the Oklahoma City Convention and Visitors Bureau.
If you've been waiting for the perfect time to buy Inside Reining Training Secrets DVDs, this is it. While supplies last, order all 9 for just $59.99 with free shipping in the continental U.S. Learn training secrets from Hall of Fame members like Sean Flaherty and Tim McQuay and nearly all of NRHA's $1 million riders. It's the best deal ever and only while supplies last. Buy Inside Reining Training Secrets DVDs at InsideReining.com or call 405-399-3122. Welcome back to Horse of the West and our coverage of the $20,000 added NRHA Invitational Freestyle, sponsored by the Oklahoma City Convention and Visitors Bureau. Kirsten Booth and her mare Baby's Got Blue Eyes are in the lead with a 226.5 from the judges for their freestyle routine to This Is Me from The Greatest Showman. In second are Emily Emerson and Sharon Wright's Walla Girl is a Whiz. Up next is Emily's friend and head trainer Shane Brown on Kellyanne Rainford's Give Me Starbucks by Walla Walla Whiz. Shane is another one of those Colorado freestylers. He says it wasn't natural to him at first, but he worked at it because he thinks it's a great way to introduce people to the sport of reining.
We know a lot of people, especially in Colorado where the Denver freestyle is, they're very involved in reining today, and some of them have breeding programs and a lot of horses, and their first exposure was to the freestyle. And so with knowing that, knowing this is where a lot of people, it's their first time to see it, that's why I keep supporting it and continue it.
Shane and Give Me Starbucks earn a 223 with their ride to Chris Stapleton's Tennessee Whiskey and slide into third place. Jessica Keller of Sumner, Texas is riding Hilldale Farms Snippo Satellite, or Snippy, in the biggest production number of the night.
We did Smokey and the Bandit, and I mixed it between the CB Eastbound and Down and Westbound and Down. So my whole family got roped into helping me do this. Kenny and Nancy Eppers loaned me their golf cart. My sister and I went on search for boxes, and we went to Office Max and copied Coors signs to put on the boxes. Doug, my mom's boyfriend, drove the golf cart around. I found Tabitha on Facebook, and she brought me a mule to borrow. I employed my horse trainer, Trent Harvey,
to ride said mule, and that's how this went.
Did you have to promise Trent anything to get him to do this?
He said he thought it would be good for his business because it proves that he will actually do anything for his non-pros.
And he can ride anything, right?
Obviously.
This is actually the first time I've done it, and it was a lot of fun, and I think it just shows a different side of it, different dynamic, brings the crowd in, and it brings other people in to enjoy the sport.
The crowd loves it, and so do the judges, moving Jessica Keller and Snippo Satellite into second with a 2:24. Shannon, more about this mule named Done It With a Twist, coming up a little later. Shannon Rafis and her daughter Madison of Citra, Florida, went with the Disney theme this year since they are in the Orlando area.
So we were talking about do we do Mickey, do we do Peter Pan, and we decided that the music for Mary Poppins was just really good.
Shannon's riding a horse she owns with her husband Mark named Wimpy's Done Twistin' by NRHA Hall of Fame member and $10 million stallion Wimpy's Little Step. Madison barely finishes up her rookie class in the North American Affiliate Championship in time to get over to this arena to have some of the fun as Bert the Chimney Sweep to her mom's Mary Poppins. Madison and Shannon Rafis earn a 2:08 in the freestyle, which Shannon says is a great way to get people excited about reining.
It just gets the crowd the chance to be a little bit more involved. Maybe they're a little bit more apt to jump up and scream and clap and be part of it, whereas when they're sitting here watching a reining, they might not know where, when, or how.
And here's yet another Colorado-based freestyler, Randy Dooley. He's from the same town as Shane Brown and Emerson. He's riding Gail Clapper's Nightingale by NRHA $2 million sire Gunner's Special Night. His ride to Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA is a tribute to a Colorado sheriff's deputy killed in the line of duty back in 2017. The Oklahoma City Police Department provides the poignant backdrop here.
These are the color guard from Oklahoma City, and I did this routine last year in January in the Ram Invitational in Denver, right after Zachary Parrish was shot and killed. And we donated all the money to the Fallen Officer Fund there, and we're going to do it to the charity for the Oklahoma City fallen officers down here. They have to leave their families and put their lives at risk every day, where I just get to go ride horses every day.
The moving tribute of Randy Dooley and the 5-year-old mare Nightingale moves the judges to award them a 2:27, which slides them past Kirsten Booth by half a point and into the lead. Up next is two-time NRBC Non-Pro Derby champion and World Equestrian Games Team Gold medalist Heavy Duty Checks, owned by Hilldale Farm and ridden by Sarah Lynn Locker.
I think this horse has really proven himself to be really special because he's done the non-pro, he's done the open, he went to the World Equestrian Games and competed on that gold medal team. So I think he's just a really special horse.
Sarah says she is a huge fan of Patrick Swayze, which led to her choice of music. Heavy Duty Checks once again proves he can do just about anything but maybe put up wallpaper, earning a 2:19.5 from the judges here in Oklahoma City. Dan James of Midway, Kentucky, and his 7-year-old stallion Dawn Magnum by NRHA Hall of Fame member and $5 million sire Magnum Chick Dream were reserve champions here last year. Dan loves the freestyle.
Mate, the freestyle, it's such an incredible part of reining as a whole body. It's what brought people like myself to reining initially. If it hadn't been for the freestyle, I probably wouldn't have even got involved in any other type of reining.
Dan and Dawn Magnum have some trouble with their trademark Liberty work, but they still ride away with a 2:14.5. Drake Johnson is our final competitor, and he is yet another seasoned freestyler from the state of Colorado.
It's a good way to get our what we do out there, a little entertainment, some choreography, and a good performance, and it gets people interested in reining.
The horse Drake planned to ride here in Oklahoma City got a little sore before the competition, so his friend and fellow trainer Shane Brown arranged for him to borrow one from his client, Jan Simchick. This is the first freestyle ever for H.A. Spooky Tune by NRHA Hall of Fame member and $5 million sire Smart Spook. Drake didn't get a chance to ride the mare until yesterday. He built a completely new routine to a song he likes and thought would show off the mare's talents.
When I try to pick some music, I try to pick music that fits the horse. I was going to go with something different till yesterday when I tried this horse out, and I thought, you know, this will work good the way I can just run in and get stopped. She's a big stopper, and so I thought that song would be conducive to the horse I was picked to ride.
Despite little time to practice, Drake and H.A. Spooky Tune earned a 219 from the judges here in Oklahoma City, which means the 2018 NRHA Invitational Freestyle Championship title goes to Randy Dooley and Gail Clapper's Nightingale for their poignant tribute to fallen police officers. Randy earned $6,500, which he says he will donate to the local fallen officers charity. The reserve championship goes to Kirsten Booth and her beloved mare Baby's Got Blue Eyes for their rendition of This Is Me. Still ahead, we'll hear more about the long-eared dun that stole the show and how he ended up learning reining, and an arena exercise for young riders or beginning reiners in Horse of the West Training Secrets. Coverage of the $20,000 added NRHA Invitational Freestyle from Oklahoma City is generously sponsored by Northwest Insurance, home, auto, farm ranch, cattle, and equine. Let us put the best plan together from the multiple companies we represent. Give us a call or find us online at northwestequineinsurance.com.
Your Horse Inside and Out with Dr. Joe Carter, sponsored by Boehringer Ingelheim.
When a veterinarian is trying to figure out a horse's lameness problem, they're going to use different types of imaging modalities. There's x-rays, ultrasounds, or MRIs available to us now to look at the different structures in a horse's leg. There's soft tissue and hard tissue. Now, hard tissue meaning bone, we're going to use an x-ray machine predominantly. This is the common thing that's been used for a long time to figure out what's going on in the bone of a horse, to see if it's got a stress fracture or a chip or maybe a spur in its hock, something like that. And so when we x-ray a horse's leg, we're actually shooting x-ray radiation beams through the horse, and those beams basically just burn through the soft tissue where you don't see them at all. But they get into the bone, and they'll be changed as they go through the horse's bone, and that'll show up on your x-ray film. But today we actually have computerized x-ray film in effect to make a digital image of that horse's leg and the bones inside of it. So let's go over here and take a look at a horse's x-ray and see what we're seeing. So when we're looking at a horse's radiograph or x-ray, we basically have examined the bone, which is the bright white area in this picture. The x-rays actually burn through the soft tissue. So soft tissue would be anywhere between here and there. This would be the skin, this would be the bone in the back of a horse's hock. And so you really don't see any of these tendons or ligaments. We're going to have to use ultrasound or an MRI to get a good image of those things. But here in the horse's bone, we're able to examine the joints, the edges of the joints. We're looking for any kind of chips or spurs and any kind of a stress fracture that might be in there that might be causing a horse to be lame. So when we're looking at a horse's bone, we're going to be using x-rays to try and see if there's anything wrong with the horse's leg. And I'm Dr. Joe Carter with Your Horse Inside and Out.
Your Horse Inside and Out is sponsored by Boehringer Ingelheim. Before making any decisions about your horse's health, be sure to contact your veterinarian.
If you've been waiting for the perfect time to buy Inside Reining Training Secrets DVDs, this is it. While supplies last, order all 9 for just $59.99 with free shipping in the continental U.S. Learn training secrets from Hall of Fame members like Sean Flaherty and Tim McQuay and nearly all of NRHA's $1 million riders. It's the best deal ever and only while supplies last. Buy Inside Reining Training Secrets DVDs at InsideReining.com or call 405-399-3122. From the Training Secrets Vault, here's Nick Nelson and Drake Konyuk.
The next drill I like to work on is just a simple guiding exercise. We're going to have Drake trot through a series of cones on a circle. He's going to try to keep his hands still enough to hold the sweat scraper on his hands, and he's going to use his legs to guide Yella through the cones. This helps develop an independent seat, and it really helps him develop quiet, slow hands. If at any time he gets a little quick with his hands, he's going to drop that sweat scraper. This gives him a good guide if he's just out riding by himself or whatever. He can tell whether he's moving his hands too quick, or he's got one hand higher than the other, or he's leaning. It's just a really good, fun thing for kids to do. You can use this with an egg and spoon or sponges, anything. All right, Drake, show him how we do this. Drake's going to be real careful to keep his hands slow, and he's just going to guide quietly with his legs, keeping his hands and shoulders real square. Hold your hands a little lower, Drake. There you go. You know, we typically start at a walk and a trot, and when they get a little more advanced, you can even have the kids lope a little bit. All right, Drake, you think you can try to lope? Yep. Just real quietly. He lifts his right hand slightly. There, he got going a little quick. Raised his hands, lost his ruler, or his sweat scraper, so he's going to try it again. Good job, Drake. Real careful to be quiet with his hands and use his legs to guide. Super, Drake. Go ahead and stop at the next cone. Very good. Give Yellow a big pat.
Coverage of the $20,000 added NRHA Invitational Freestyle from Oklahoma City is generously sponsored by Northwest Insurance, home, auto, farm ranch, cattle, and equine. Let us put the best plan together from the multiple companies we represent. Give us a call or find us online at northwestequineinsurance.com.
You're watching Horse of the West on RFD TV, presented by the Oklahoma City Convention and Visitors Bureau.
If you've been waiting for the perfect time to buy Inside Reining Training Secrets DVDs, this is it. While supplies last, order all 9 for just $59.99 with free shipping in the continental U.S. Learn training secrets from Hall of Fame members like Sean Flaherty and Tim McQuay and nearly all of NRHA's $1 million riders. It's the best deal ever and only while supplies last. Buy Inside Reining Training Secrets DVDs at InsideReining.com or call 405-399-3122. Welcome back to Horse of the West, or Mule of the West, for this segment of our show starring 12-year-old John Mule, done it with a twist. He was the answer to the plea reiner Jessica Keller put out on Facebook for a mule to use in her freestyle routine in Oklahoma City. Fortunately, Tabitha Holland of Signature Equine in Morris, Oklahoma, had just the animal. And it turns out Dunnett has done a little reining under AQHA World Show vet and accomplished reiner Andy Anderson after cancer slowed him down a bit.
He's been riding this mule, so we just put him on him because he was safe, and Andy spent a lot of time in a snaffle bit just doing spins and so forth with him over the last couple years. So I said, I think I've got a mule that'll work for you. So we scrambled a little bit, but we thought that he would handle everything well, and he sure did, and I hope Trent had a good time riding him.
Give me your background riding mules.
Well, it started yesterday. That was the first time I rode a mule, and I actually lunged him because I had no idea how a mule would act. But he's a little puppy, as you can tell.
But mostly this is a trail riding mule, but we just thought he'd handle everything, and it was fun.
Watch in the weeks ahead for coverage of the Adequan North American Affiliate Championship and the AQHA Junior and Senior Reining World Championships, sponsored by Plus Horse Sales. See you then.